Well, tell us how you feel about the W. Your striking looked right on point, and didn't seem he had an answer for that.
I felt great. Great camp. What's crazy is I started the camp with a few injuries, and I was a little worried, but everything worked good. I added a new swimming program that helped, and everything. Me and my striking coach Jamal, we had such a good game plan. We were at the ankles, we were working, got back to boxing a lot, and just not staying in front of the guy, and literally everything, throwing the right hand off the check hooks, everything, the jab, everything was just on. It felt on so good.
For whatever reason, fighters never really utilize their boxers the way you have. GSP has, other guys have done it. How did you stay so consistent with that jab? Most guys just throw winging power punches, but you seem to utilize it perfect.
Well, like I said, my coach Jamal, that was the game plan. The big time game plan was the stick move. We weren't going to stay in front of him. The only chance he had was to really just try to get me down and hold me, because his ground game wasn't better than mine. He had a good strong body lock and control position, and I just felt like everything came together. It was perfect. I didn't listen as good as I should have in the corner as far as stepping off and landing the power right hand, which is what we worked the majority of camp. So I'm disappointed in myself and sorry to my coaches about that. But everything else, it seemed good. I got a little tired, ring rust. This inactivity, fighting once a year stuff has been killing me. If I could just stay consistent and fight every few months, I don't think I would ever get tired, because I'm known to be a cardio machine. And I know it probably didn't look like I was that tired in there because I kept throwing. I'm a volume puncher. But I need to work on probably setting down a little more and, turning my body over a little better and stuff like that. But besides that, I felt like everything came together.
What's been the issue with that inconsistency in terms of how frequently you're fighting? Has it been more injuries, or is it just not getting that call? And will you be kind of proactive in getting Joe Silva and Sean Shelby's ear and say, I'm ready to go, let's get me back in a couple of months?
No, Joe Silva's been great. He's messaged me multiple times, and I've actually had to say, hey, I'm not healthy. I've had basically 4 surgeries in the last 7 or 8 years. So, I mean, obviously I've only been in the UFC 4, but I've had 2 surgeries in the last 4 years since I've been in the UFC. And after my last fight with Jake Matthews, I went and I thought I had a pulled groin, and I went and got an MRI, and they said my hip was messed up, and I had to have labor room surgery on my hip, and I had an impingement in there and had to get all that fixed. So it was just injuries over and over, and then I pulled my groin, I messed up, pulled my hamstring, just small things, and then they just kept adding up. Bad timing, just different things is all it was, injuries.
Feeling good now coming out of that you can have that
Yes,
conversation
I definitely
backstage
want
and say
at least 2 more fights this year, be 7-0 in the UFC, and get to the top 10. That's my goal, 100%.
I'm hearing that you're looking for Michael Chiesa. How much would it mean to you to avenge that loss from the Ultimate Fighter?
I would want that. I want that fight more than anything. Like I would rather fight him than anybody in the division by far. That's been 4 years ago. We're not the same fighter. Neither one of us are the same fighter. Obviously, he's very impressive. Michael Chiesa, me and him are actually really cool. But I want a rematch. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's not like the fights happened last year or something. It's been 4 years, and he's been acting like this whole time that his career is way ahead of mine, and I need to catch up. And I agree with that. He's been fighting more than me, but he had a great impressive win, so I'm probably not going to get the fight, now, just because he just beat a number 7 ranked guy or 8 ranked guy. But I'm coming for him, and he better be ready, because I'm going to get that rematch, and I'm going to win, and I'm going to be a world champion. I really believe that with all my heart.
Who do you want next? I mean, obviously, if you can't get Chiesa, there's a lot of guys probably on your hit list at this point.
I mean, I've mostly thought about him, to be honest, because I didn't really think he was going to win this last fight. So I thought I can really catch him off a loss, and then he'll have to fight me after 5 wins. That didn't work out. So I don't care. I mean, I want to step up. I want to be in the top 15. I want to be in the top 10 in the world. In my mind, I've only had, if you think about it, that was my 5th fight in 4 years. If you doubled that and I stayed undefeated at 10-0, I'd be a world champion already. I just haven't been healthy. So I want to step up. I don't really care who I fight next coming up in the division. I just want to move up, and I want to work my way up the ladder. I'm 29 years old. My skill set is at an all-time high. I'm so well-rounded right now. I want to be a world champion.
At what point do the injuries and the layoffs start messing with your mind? Because it's amazing. You were on that show 4 years ago. You're still undefeated. You don't even have 10 pro fights on your record. You've been so inactive, yet you continue to look good when you do fight. Do you start to worry and wonder, like, am I injury prone? Is it going to be like this for my entire career? Have you ever had those doubts?
I have off and on, but I'm really strong in my mind. I believe I'm mentally stronger than anybody in the UFC. And I read a lot of books. I study a lot of stuff. My coach, Master Lloyd Irvin, he's really big into the self-help, personal development stuff. And when I first started training with him years ago, I got into it, and I probably read, in the last 4 years, I've probably read 25 books. stuff. And that sounds a little cheesy to some people, but it really, it really helps make your mind strong. And I believe that no matter what happens, that certain things may delay my destiny, but nothing can stop my destiny. I really believe that if it wasn't my destiny to be a world champion, God wouldn't have put it in my heart so strongly. So I believe that whether sooner or later is coming.
I saw you yesterday. You were very confident that you were going to win, but I believe you called for a finish.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed?
Very disappointed. First of all, I was talking to my coaches about it, and they know that I'm my biggest critic, and I'm never happy about anything. I'm so mad that that's the third time in the last 4 fights that I've landed that flying knee and haven't put them out. Like, one of these days it's going to be flush. If I land that another inch on every guy, I got 3 bonuses in a row. And I was disappointed about that, because when you don't fight but 5 times in 4 years, you're a little hurting for money too.
Yeah.
So you try. Yeah, I was very disappointed. I really thought I was going to be able to finish them. Had a bad start, in the first round, and then gas tank was a little slow because the ring rust, and I do throw a lot of volume. I have a style that that gets people tired as well, but I definitely thought I should have finished them, and we'll go back and I'll check the film out and study it. Me and my coaches will come together and we're going to get more finishes.
How do you support yourself when you don't fight so often?
Well, when I do my training camp, I live in Texas half the year, and I live in Maryland, Temple Hills, Maryland, at Team Lord Irvin half the year. My coach, he's a lifesaver, Master Lord Irvin. He's literally changed my life. I get to train up there for free, and he has a fighter house I get to stay in, and I'll go up there 2 months in advance, and that really helps me a lot. And then back home, I teach some private lessons now, and I was a bouncer off and on, working at clubs and stuff like that to make ends meet. And last fight, I got the bonus against Jake Matthews, so that helped me a lot. Even though Australia, killed me on the taxes, that helped me a lot enough to where I was very smart with my money, and I just made it last, now until now, and then now I should be good to go and hopefully get to fight in a few months.
And if you don't mind me asking, how is your sister doing?
Thank you. Yeah, she's doing great. My sister, for those who didn't know, she had a tumor really bad in her brain, and they had right there in the front of her skull, and they had to take it out. They said it was about to make her blind, and it could eventually go through and eat her brain. And they took it out. They put like a titanium mesh plate in there, and it's they went in, like, they basically kind of had a scalper a little bit, and then they sewed it back up and everything. And that was last July or August, I believe. And she went back a couple weeks after that, and then she had a checkup every 2 months after that, and now she's good to go. And there's no signs. It's been almost a year, about 10 months, I think.
Great. So she's 100% healthy?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. She's actually here right now.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
That's great. Well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.